Bart Cummings was born into the world of racing. His father, Jim Cummings, was a successful horse trainer who won the 1950 Melbourne Cup with a horse named Comic Court. From a young age, Bart was immersed in the world of horses, learning the ropes from his father and developing a deep love for the animals that would define his life. Bart's childhood was spent in the stables, watching, learning, and dreaming of the day he would follow in his father's footsteps. In the early 1950s, Bart Cummings began working as an apprentice under his father, learning the trade from the ground up. He started with the basics: feeding, grooming, and exercising the horses while gradually taking on more responsibility in the training process. Bart's apprenticeship was a period of intense learning, and by 1953, he had obtained his own trainer's license. By the early 1960s, Bart Cummings had established himself as a rising star in the world of horse racing. His meticulous approach to training, combined with an almost mystical understanding of horses, began to pay dividends. In 1965, Bart achieved what every Australian trainer dreams of. He won his first Melbourne Cup. The victory came with a mare named Light Fingers, ridden by jockey Roy Higgins. This win was the first of what would become a record 12 Melbourne Cup victories for Bart, earning him the title the Cup's King. The 1970s and 1980s were decades of dominance for Bart Cummings. After his first Melbourne Cup win in 1965, Bart went on to win the race again in 1966 with Galilee and in 1967 with Red Handed, completing a rare hat-trick. His success in the Melbourne Cup was unparalleled, and by the end of the 1980s, Bart had won the race 7 times, with victories in 1974, 1975, 1977, and 1979. Each win was a testament to Bart's skill as a trainer, his ability to identify and nurture talent, and his extraordinary connection with his horses. Bart Cummings was known for his rigorous training methods and his almost obsessive attention to detail. He was a man of routine, starting his days before dawn and spending hours each day with his horses. He won the race again in 1983 with the great Kingston Rule, who set a race record that still stands today. In 1990, Bart trained another winner, Kingston Rule's stablemate Let's Elope, who dominated the spring racing carnival that year. And in 1991, he won his 10th Melbourne Cup with Let's Elope. Bart's 11th win came in 1996 with Saintly, a horse affectionately known as the Horse from Heaven. But it was in 2008, at the age of 80, that Bart achieved his most remarkable feat, winning his 12th Melbourne Cup with a horse named Viewed. These victories cemented Bart's place in racing history and confirmed his status as the greatest trainer the Melbourne Cup has ever seen. Bart Cummings' influence on Australian racing extended far beyond his Melbourne Cup victories. He built a training empire with stables in both Sydney and Melbourne, and trained hundreds of Group 1 winners over the course of his career. Bart's success was not limited to the Melbourne Cup. He won nearly every major race in Australia, including the Caulfield Cup, Cox Plate, and Golden Slipper. While Bart Cummings' life was defined by his success on the racetrack, he was also a devoted family man. He married Valmy Cummings in 1954, and together they had 3 children: Anthony, Anne-Marie, and Sharon. Bart's family was his greatest support, and he often spoke about the importance of family in his life. His son Anthony followed in his footsteps, becoming a successful trainer in his own right, and Bart took great pride in watching his children and grandchildren continue the family's racing legacy. On August 30th, 2015, the world of horse racing lost one of its greatest icons. Bart Cummings passed away at the age of 87, leaving behind a legacy that will never be forgotten.